If black lives matter as much as white lives, Mr. George Floyd will still be breathing. If black lives matter as much as white lives, Ahmaud Arbery would have finished his jog. If black lives matter as much as white lives, Christian Cooper wouldn't have been falsely accused. Black lives do not matter as much as white lives. Why? Because we tolerate hatred, bigotry, and invidious discrimination. We tolerate it, and because we tolerate it, we allow it to be perpetuated. We in this country have the power to do something about the racism that exists as it relates to black people. We have tolerated it since 1619 and the arrival of black people in the Americas. But it's time for us to do something about it. We declared a war on poverty. We declared a war on drugs. Why not declare a war on racism? Why not decide that here and now we are not going to allow racism to continue in this country to the extent that people lose their lives? The officers in the Floyd case should not only be arrested, they ought to be prosecuted. We in Congress have some responsibility to the people we serve. And a part of that responsibility is to assure them that they can go jogging and return home. That if they are arrested by the police, they won't be suffocated to the extent that they lose their lives. We have to make sure that we tell this country in no uncertain terms that black lives do matter. It's not about Democrats and not about Republicans. I'm not blaming the Republicans for what's happening. I'm not blaming the Democrats for what's happening. I'm blaming people who hold public trust and tolerate hate and invidious discrimination. We are the people who can make a difference, and we ought to make a difference. We ought to demand that the people running for public office make public statements about how they plan to end invidious discrimination, not how they plan to tolerate it, how they plan to manage it. How do you plan to end it? How do you plan to end it in banking? How do you plan to end it in hiring and promotion? This is our time. If we don't do it now, when will we do it? No candidate should be off limits. Every one of them ought to have to tell us what they plan to do. And finally, as my final comments, I love my country. And because I love my country, I feel that I have this duty, obligation, and responsibility to speak up when these kinds of injustices occur.